Hello there, and welcome to day number 50. My name is Mary, and today's story called The Tabernacle Part 2. The tabernacle stood in the court. It was a large tent, like the tents in which the people lived, but bigger. Its walls, however, were not made from skins or woven clothes, as most tents, but of boards standing upright on silver bases and fastened together. The boards were covered with gold. The roof of the tabernacle was made of 4 curtains, one above another. The inner curtain was beautifully decorated, and the outer curtain was made of rams' skins to keep out the rain. The board walls of the tabernacle were on the 2 sides and the rear end. The front was open, except when a curtain was hung over it. The tabernacle, half tent and half house, was about 45 feet long, 15 feet wide, and 15 feet high. Its only floor was the sand of the desert. This tabernacle was divided into 2 rooms by a curtain that hung down from the roof. The larger room, the one of the eastern end, was twice as large as the other room. It was 30 feet long, 15 feet wide, and 15 feet high, and was called the Holy Place. In the Holy Place were 3 things: a gold table with 12 loaves of bread, one for each of the 12 tribes, the golden lampstand with 7 branches, each holding a light at the end of the holy place. Close to the curtain was the golden altar of incense, a small altar on which fragrant gum was burnt, and from which a silvery cloud floated up. The fire on this altar was always lighted from the great altar of brass that was standing outside the tabernacle in the court. Everything in this room was made of gold or covered with gold, even the walls. The inner room of the tabernacle was called the Holy of Holies. It was so sacred that no one except the high priest ever entered it. And he did only on one day a year. It was 15 feet wide, 15 feet long, and 15 feet high. All it held was a box made of wood and covered with plates of gold on both the outside and the inside. Its cover was solid gold, decorated with 2 strange figures called seraphim, also made of gold. This chest was called the Ark of the Covenant, and in it were the 2 stone tables on which God wrote the 10 Commandments. It was in this room, the Holy of Holies, that God was supposed to dwell and show his glory, but there was no image in it to tempt the Israelites to the worship of idols. So I'm going to show you the room the Holy of the Holies. Here it is. It says the high priest, holy ark, and table for bread. Here it is. Can you see that? Here's the seraphim and the 12 loaves of bread. Okay. Whenever the camp in the desert was to be changed, the priests first carefully covered all the furniture in the tabernacle, then passed rods through the rings on the corners of all these articles. They took down the tabernacle and tied its gold covered borders, great curtains, posts, and pillars in package to be carried. Then the men of the tribe of Levi, who were the helpers of the priests, took up their burdens and carried them out in front of the camp. The 12 tribes were arranged in marching order behind them. The Ark of the Covenant, unseen under its wrappings, led the way, with the pillar of cloud over it. And thus the children of Israel removed their camp from place to place for 40 years in the wilderness. When they set up camp after each journey, the tabernacle was first set up with the court around it and the altar in front of it. Then the tribes placed their tents in order around it, 3 tribes to each of its 4 sides. And whenever an Israelite saw the altar with the smoke rising from it, and the tabernacle with the silver white cloud above it, he said to himself, "Our God, the Lord of all the earth, lives in that tent. I need no image made by men's hands to remind me of God." And that was the word of the Lord. Now I will share with you the discussion questions. The first, why do you think God had a bigger tent than the people? Number 2, what was the Ark of the Covenant? What was inside it? Number 3, why wasn't there an idol in the Holy of Holies? Number 4, how did the Ark of the Covenant move? Thank you again for another fun day together. We'll talk to you soon in another day. Bye for now.